The moment you decide to take full responsibility for your life, everything begins to shift. Until that moment, it is easy to believe that other people, difficult circumstances, bad luck, or past experiences are controlling your future. It feels comfortable to point at the economy, your family, your education, or missed opportunities, and convince yourself that they are the reason you are not where you want to be. While these factors may influence your journey, they do not have the final say. The greatest change happens when you stop asking who is responsible for your current situation and start asking what you are going to do about it. That single question puts the power back into your hands. Responsibility is not about carrying guilt or blaming yourself for everything that has happened. It is about accepting that your next decision belongs to you. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can absolutely shape tomorrow by the choices you make today. Every successful person reaches a point where they stop waiting for someone to rescue them. They realize that no one is coming to create the life they dream about. They become the author of their own story instead of acting like a victim of their circumstances. Making excuses may protect your pride for a moment, but it also steals your future. Every excuse sounds reasonable when you first hear it. You are too young, too old, too busy, too tired, too inexperienced, or too afraid. The problem is that excuses never solve problems. They only delay progress. Every day you spend explaining why something cannot be done is another day you lose the opportunity to discover that it actually can. Growth begins the moment excuses end. Owning your decisions also means owning your mistakes. Everyone makes wrong choices. Everyone experiences failure. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is how they respond after falling. Successful people do not waste their energy pretending they were perfect. They admit their mistakes, learn the lesson, adjust their approach, and move forward with greater wisdom. Every mistake becomes valuable when it teaches you something that makes you stronger. When you take responsibility, your mindset changes completely. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of waiting for perfect conditions, you start creating opportunities with the resources you already have. You become solution-focused rather than problem-focused. This shift changes the way you see every challenge. Obstacles stop looking like barriers and begin looking like training grounds where your character, discipline, and resilience are being developed. Personal responsibility also builds confidence. Every promise you keep to yourself becomes proof that you can be trusted. Every commitment you honor strengthens your self-respect. Confidence is not created by talking about success. It is created by consistently doing what you said you would do, especially on the days when you do not feel like doing it. The more responsibility you accept, the more control you gain over your emotions, your habits, and your direction. Your future is never determined by the excuses you make. It is determined by the actions you choose. Every decision, no matter how small, either moves you closer to the life you want or further away from it. The moment you stop waiting for someone else to change your life and realize that the power has been within you all along, you unlock a level of strength, determination, and purpose that has always been waiting to be used. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you create in life. Before success appears in your actions, it first exists in your thinking. Every achievement, every goal, every breakthrough begins with a thought that grows into a belief. If your mind is filled with doubt, fear, and limitation, your actions will reflect those beliefs. But if your mind is trained to focus on possibility, growth, and resilience, you begin to act differently. And those actions eventually shape a different future. The quality of your life is closely connected to the quality of your thinking. Most people underestimate the power of the conversations they have with themselves every single day. Long before anyone else speaks to you, your own mind has already been telling you a story. If that story constantly says you are not smart enough, not talented enough, or not capable enough, your brain starts accepting those words as facts. You hesitate to take opportunities because you already expect failure. You avoid challenges because you believe they are beyond your ability. Over time, these thoughts become beliefs, and those beliefs quietly control your behavior. The good news is that your mindset is not permanent. It is something you build, strengthen, and reshape through consistent effort. Just as muscles grow through training, your thinking grows through practice. Every time you replace a negative thought with a stronger one, you are training your mind. Every time you choose hope instead of doubt, courage instead of fear, or discipline instead of comfort, you are creating a mindset that serves your future instead of limiting it. A powerful mindset does not mean pretending that life is easy. It does not mean ignoring problems or acting as though difficulties do not exist. It means believing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to respond with strength and determination. Challenges become opportunities to grow instead of reasons to quit. Failure becomes feedback instead of a final verdict. Every setback becomes another lesson preparing you for something greater. Your focus determines your direction. If you spend every day looking at what is missing, you will always feel as though you are falling behind. If you constantly focus on obstacles, your energy will be consumed by frustration. But when you begin focusing on solutions, progress, and possibilities, your mind starts searching for ways to move forward. The brain naturally pays attention to whatever you repeatedly focus on. Train it to notice opportunities instead of limitations. Successful people understand that protecting their mindset is just as important as developing their skills. They are careful about what they watch, what they listen to, what they read, and the people they spend time with. Negative environments can slowly weaken confidence, while positive environments encourage growth and resilience. Every influence you allow into your life is shaping the way you think, whether you realize it or not. That is why it is essential to surround yourself with people who challenge you to improve instead of encouraging you to settle. Gratitude is another powerful tool for strengthening your mindset. When you appreciate what you already have, you create a sense of abundance instead of scarcity. Gratitude does not stop you from wanting more. Instead, it gives you the emotional strength to pursue more without constantly feeling empty. It reminds you that progress is possible because you have already overcome challenges in the past. Looking back at how far you have come gives you confidence to keep moving forward. Your beliefs also influence the risks you are willing to take. If you believe growth is possible, you become more willing to step outside your comfort zone. You start seeing unfamiliar situations as chances to learn rather than threats to avoid. Every new experience expands your confidence because it proves that you are capable of adapting. This is how successful people continue growing throughout their lives. They never allow their current level of knowledge to become the limit of their potential. Mastering your mindset is a daily commitment, not a one-time decision. Every morning you choose the thoughts you will entertain. Every challenge gives you the opportunity to strengthen your perspective. Every setback invites you to decide whether you will become discouraged or become stronger. The thoughts you repeat today become the beliefs you carry tomorrow, and those beliefs quietly influence every decision, every habit, and every opportunity you create for yourself. Fear is one of the most misunderstood emotions in life. Most people believe fear is a signal to stop, to wait, or to turn back. They assume that if they feel nervous, uncertain, or uncomfortable, they must not be ready. But fear is often a sign that you are standing at the edge of growth. Every meaningful opportunity comes with uncertainty. Every worthwhile dream demands courage before it delivers confidence. The people who create extraordinary lives are not those who never feel afraid. They are the ones who refuse to let fear make their decisions. Think about every major step that has ever changed someone's life. Starting a business, changing careers, speaking in front of an audience, pursuing a dream, asking for an opportunity, learning a new skill, or making a difficult decision all come with fear. There are no guarantees. There is no perfect certainty. Yet those who succeed understand that waiting for fear to disappear is a losing strategy because fear rarely leaves before action begins. Many people believe confidence comes first and action follows. In reality, the opposite is true. Action creates confidence. Every small step you take proves to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. Every challenge you face becomes evidence that you can handle more than you once believed. Confidence is earned through experience, not imagination. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into it. Fear becomes dangerous only when it keeps you standing still. The longer you avoid something, the bigger it appears in your mind. A simple conversation becomes terrifying because you postpone it. A new opportunity feels impossible because you never give yourself the chance to try. Your imagination begins creating problems that do not even exist. The mind naturally exaggerates uncertainty when there is no action to challenge it. Imagine fear as a fire. Fire can destroy, but it can also provide warmth, light, and energy. The difference is how you use it. Instead of allowing fear to burn your dreams, use it as fuel to push yourself forward. Let your nervousness remind you that what you are doing matters. Let uncertainty sharpen your focus instead of weakening your determination. Every heartbeat before an important moment is proof that you care deeply about the outcome. Failure is another fear that stops countless people from reaching their potential. They worry about making mistakes, being judged, or falling short of expectations. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is one of the paths leading directly to it. Every mistake teaches lessons that success alone could never provide. Every setback reveals weaknesses that can be improved. Every disappointment develops resilience that cannot be learned in comfort. The most successful individuals understand that mistakes are temporary, but regret can last for years. They would rather experience the pain of trying than spend their lives wondering what might have happened if they had taken the chance. They recognize that every great achievement is built on countless imperfect attempts. Progress is always more valuable than perfection because progress creates momentum, while perfection often becomes an excuse for inaction. Your comfort zone may feel safe, but nothing remarkable grows there. Comfort offers familiarity, but it also limits possibility. The moment you decide to step beyond what feels familiar, you begin expanding your abilities. At first, it feels uncomfortable because your mind is adapting to something new. That discomfort is not evidence that you are failing. It is evidence that you are stretching beyond your previous limits. Every challenge you overcome increases your capacity to face even greater ones in the future. Fear also has a way of making you underestimate yourself. It focuses your attention on everything that could go wrong while ignoring everything that could go right. It reminds you of past disappointments but stays silent about your previous victories. This is why you must train your mind to remember your strength. Think about the obstacles you have already overcome. Think about the difficult seasons you survived. Those experiences are proof that you are far more resilient than fear wants you to believe. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to keep moving while fear is still present. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you weaken fear's control over your life. Every bold decision becomes another reminder that your potential is greater than your uncertainty. As you continue taking action, fear slowly loses its power because your experience begins replacing your imagination, and the confidence you once waited for starts growing through every challenge you are willing to face. Is rarely the result of one extraordinary moment. It is usually the outcome of hundreds of ordinary moments that most people overlook. Every day you are building your future through the habits you choose. Whether you realize it or not, your daily routine is shaping the person you are becoming. The small decisions you make every morning, every afternoon, and every evening quietly determine the direction of your life. Great achievements are not created by occasional bursts of motivation. They are created by consistent actions repeated long enough to produce remarkable results. Many people wait for the perfect moment to change their lives. They promise themselves they will start on Monday, next month, or next year. They believe they need more motivation before they can begin. The truth is that waiting for perfect conditions often becomes a habit of delay. Progress belongs to those who start before they feel completely ready. A single positive habit, repeated every day, becomes more powerful than occasional moments of intense effort. Think about the power of small improvements. Reading just a few pages every day may not seem life-changing in a single week, but over months and years it can completely transform your knowledge. Exercising for a short time each day may not immediately change your body, but consistency creates strength, energy, and confidence. Saving a small amount regularly may not seem significant today, but over time it builds financial security. Every meaningful result begins with actions so small that they often seem insignificant at first. The challenge is that habits do not always produce immediate rewards. This is why many people quit too soon. They work hard for a few days or weeks, fail to see dramatic results, and assume their efforts are pointless. What they fail to understand is that success often grows beneath the surface long before it becomes visible. Just as a seed develops roots before breaking through the ground, your daily habits are creating change even when you cannot yet see the outcome. Discipline is what keeps your habits alive when motivation fades. Motivation is exciting, but it is temporary. Some mornings you will feel inspired, while other mornings you will feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If your progress depends only on your emotions, your results will always be inconsistent. Discipline allows you to keep moving even when you do not feel like it. It reminds you that your commitment to your future is more important than your temporary mood. Every habit is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. When you choose to learn instead of wasting time, you are becoming a lifelong student. When you choose to exercise instead of making excuses, you are becoming healthier and stronger. When you choose honesty, kindness, patience, and responsibility every day, you are shaping your character. Your identity is not built by what you occasionally do. It is built by what you consistently practice. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to change everything at once. They create unrealistic routines that are impossible to maintain. After a few days, they become overwhelmed and give up completely. Lasting change usually begins with one simple habit. Master one positive behavior until it becomes natural, then build another on top of it. Small victories create confidence, and confidence encourages greater consistency. Your environment also influences your habits more than you may realize. If you surround yourself with distractions become your routine. If you fill your space with reminders of your goals, positive action becomes easier. Successful people intentionally create environments that support good habits instead of constantly testing their self-control. They remove unnecessary obstacles and make positive choices more convenient. Consistency is far more valuable than perfection. There will be days when you miss a workout, skip a study session, or fall short of your expectations. One imperfect day does not erase months of progress. The important thing is to return to your habits as quickly as possible. Never allow one mistake to become a reason for abandoning the process completely. Progress is built by those who recover quickly rather than those who never make mistakes. Powerful habits also strengthen your confidence because they create trust in yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your self-respect grows. You begin believing that you are someone who follows through, someone who finishes what they start, and someone who can be counted on. That belief becomes one of your greatest strengths because it influences every goal you pursue and every challenge you face. Your future is not created by one extraordinary decision. It is created by the ordinary choices you repeat every single day. The habits you build today become the foundation of your success tomorrow, quietly shaping your character, your mindset, your discipline, and your results with every consistent step you choose to take. The quality of your life will never consistently rise above the standards you set for yourself. Every result you experience, whether in your career, your relationships, your health, or your personal growth, reflects the level you have decided to accept. Standards are not wishes or dreams. They are the rules you live by every single day. They determine what you tolerate, what you reject, and what you demand from yourself. When your standards are low, excuses become easy. When your standards are high, excuses lose their power because they no longer fit the person you are determined to become. Many people have ambitious goals, but very few have standards that match those goals. They say they want success, yet they continue accepting habits that move them in the opposite direction. They talk about becoming healthier while neglecting their bodies. They dream of financial freedom while refusing to improve their skills. They hope for stronger relationships while failing to communicate with honesty and respect. Goals describe where you want to go, but standards determine whether you ever get there. Excuses are often disguised as reasonable explanations. They sound convincing because they appeal to comfort. You tell yourself you are too busy, too tired, too stressed, or waiting for a better opportunity. At first, these reasons seem harmless, but when repeated often enough, they've become beliefs that quietly control your actions. Every excuse lowers your expectations of yourself. Over time, you begin accepting less effort, less discipline, and less commitment than you are truly capable of giving. Raising your standards begins with making a simple decision. Decide that average is no longer acceptable. Decide that your word matters. Decide that when you make a commitment, you will follow through regardless of how you feel. This does not mean becoming perfect. It means refusing to settle for a version of yourself that is built on convenience instead of purpose. Excellence is not achieved through occasional greatness. It is achieved through daily choices that reflect a higher level of personal responsibility. Your standards are revealed in the moments when no one is watching. Anyone can appear disciplined when people are paying attention. True character is shown in private. It is revealed when the alarm clock rings early in the morning and no one would know if you stayed in bed. It is revealed when you have the chance to take a shortcut but choose integrity instead. It is revealed when you continue working even after your excitement has disappeared. Those quiet moments shape your future far more than the moments that receive applause. One of the greatest obstacles to raising your standards is becoming comfortable with mediocrity. Comfort is attractive because it asks very little from you. It tells you that you have already done enough. It encourages you to postpone your effort until tomorrow. But tomorrow has a habit of becoming next week, next month, and eventually another year filled with unrealized potential. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you strengthen the habit of settling. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen the habit of becoming better. High standards also change the way you respond to challenges. Instead of making excuses when things become difficult, you begin looking for solutions. Instead of blaming circumstances, you ask yourself what can be improved. You stop measuring success by how easy the journey feels and start measuring it by the person you are becoming through the process. Difficult situations no longer become reasons to quit. They become opportunities to prove that your commitment is stronger than your temporary emotions. The people you admire most are rarely extraordinary because of talent alone. They have simply refused to lower their standards when life became difficult. They continue showing up when others stop. They keep learning when others become satisfied. They keep improving when others settle for average. Their success is built on countless moments where they chose excellence over excuses, consistency over convenience, and responsibility over blame. Raising your standards also requires protecting your time and energy. Every unnecessary distraction steals attention from the life you are trying to build. Every negative influence that encourages laziness, doubt, or complacency pulls you away from your potential. Successful people understand that saying yes to everything often means saying no to their future. They become intentional about how they spend their hours because they know that every day is an investment in the person they are becoming. When you expect more from yourself, you begin discovering strengths you never realized you possessed. You become more disciplined because your standards demand it. You become more focused because distractions no longer deserve your attention. You become more resilient because quitting is no longer an option you are willing to consider. As your standards continue to rise, your excuses become weaker, your actions become stronger, and your life begins reflecting the higher expectations you have chosen to live by. Success begins with becoming the person who is capable of creating the future you desire. Many people spend their lives waiting for circumstances to change before they change themselves. They believe that once they have more money, more opportunities, more support, or better conditions, they will finally become disciplined, confident, and prepared. But the truth is that transformation happens from the inside out. Your external results are often a reflection of the person you have developed yourself into. If you want a different life, you must first become a different version of yourself. Your dreams are not only asking for your desire, they are asking for your growth. Every meaningful goal requires a stronger mindset, better habits, greater discipline, and a willingness to improve. The person you are today may not yet have all the skills, knowledge, or confidence needed for the future you imagine. That is not a reason to give up. It is an invitation to grow. Your dreams are showing you the direction you need to move, and your responsibility is to become someone who can handle the opportunities that come with them. Many people want the rewards of success without becoming the person success requires them to be. They want achievement without discipline, confidence without challenges, and progress without discomfort. But every great result has a price. The price is commitment, patience, learning, and the courage to continue when the journey becomes difficult. The person you become along the way is often more valuable than the achievement itself because your character determines whether you can maintain what you create. Personal growth begins when you stop focusing only on what you want to achieve and start focusing on who you need to become. Ask yourself what qualities your future self must have. Does that person wake up with purpose? Does that person manage time wisely? Does that person continue learning? Does that person take responsibility for mistakes and use them as lessons? Every answer reveals an area where you can improve today. Your identity shapes your actions. If you see yourself as someone who always gives up, your choices will reflect that belief. If you see yourself as someone who finds solutions, learns from challenges, and keeps moving forward, your behavior will begin matching that identity. This is why lasting change does not come from temporary motivation. It comes from changing the way you see yourself. Growth often requires leaving behind an old version of yourself. The habits that kept you comfortable may not be the habits that take you to the next level. The thoughts that protected you from failure may also be the thoughts preventing you from taking opportunities. Becoming your best self means being willing to release what no longer serves you. It means choosing progress over familiarity and purpose over temporary comfort. The journey of becoming requires patience because real transformation does not happen overnight. A strong mindset is built through repeated choices. Confidence is built through repeated action. Discipline is built through repeated commitment. Every small decision you make today is shaping the person you will become tomorrow. Even when progress feels slow, every effort is creating a stronger foundation for your future. You must also understand that growth is not about becoming someone else. It is about discovering and developing the greatest version of yourself. You do not need to copy another person's journey or compare your progress with anyone around you. Your focus should be on improving your own abilities, strengthening your character, and moving closer to the person you know you can become. The future you dream about is waiting for a version of you that is prepared to receive it. Your goals are not achieved only through wishing. They are achieved through transformation. When you commit to becoming stronger, wiser, and more disciplined every day, you begin creating a life that matches your vision. The person you become will always determine the possibilities you are able to create, because your greatest investment is not only in what you achieve, but in who you become while achieving it.